The vast taiga of central Siberia stretches to the horizon, an endless sea of pine and larch whispering beneath the Arctic sky. On the morning of June 30th, 1908, that silence was shattered. A blinding flash split the air, followed by a thunderous roar that rattled windows hundreds of miles away. In an instant, more than 2,000 square kilometers of forest were leveled, trees fanning outward like spokes on a wheel. Yet no impact crater marked the site. No survivors could fully describe what had transpired. The Tunguska blast remains the largest unexplained explosion in recorded history, a cosmic mystery hidden deep within the Siberian wilderness. Stay tuned to discover how modern science still chases its elusive fragments. Dawn broke over the Podkamennaya Tunguska River as it had for centuries. Fishermen pushed slender boats into the current. Reindeer herders led their flocks across moss-covered plains. Gold prospectors called the region the sleeping taiga for its tranquil solitude. Wooden huts nestled between stands of forest, smoke from wood-burning stoves curling into clear air. None of those simple routines hinted at what was to come. High above, a cosmic intruder raced toward Earth at tens of thousands of kilometers per hour. Unseen, unheard, and utterly unpredictable. At roughly 7:17 a.m. local time, observers, Evenki hunters and Russian settlers alike, looked up in astonishment. A column of light, brighter than the noonday sun, arced across the sky. Some compared it to a fiery airship descending from the heavens, others to a needle of molten metal tearing through the atmosphere. Then came the sound, a roar like 1,000 cannon blasts, or the combined thunder of countless locomotives, windows shattered in villages more than 60 kilometers away. The ground trembled beneath feet. Birds fell stone still from the sky. In a matter of seconds, an entire forest lay hidden beneath a blanket of fallen branches and shattered trunks. When silence returned, the taiga bore the marks of unparalleled violence. Over an area spanning more than 2,000 square kilometers, trees lay uprooted and splintered. Limbs snapped like twigs, bark stripped clean by the blast's force. Yet there was no crater, nothing to hint that a massive object had ever struck. Instead, the forest floor was a mosaic of twisted wood and scorched earth. Witnesses spoke of strange odors, sulfur, burning hair, that lingered for days. A hazy yellow mist swirled above the devastation, coloring sunsets in far-off cities and leaving scientists puzzled for years to come. Coming up, the first expedition that dared to map this alien landscape. For 2 decades, Siberia's harsh remoteness kept Tunguska's secrets sealed beneath snow and moss. Then, in 1927, Soviet geologist Leonid Kulik mounted the first formal expedition. He and his team journeyed by train, riverboat, and horseback into the wilderness. What they found both fascinated and confounded them. Trees lay felled but remarkably unweathered, as if time had paused the moment they collapsed. Kulik measured the radius of destruction, piecing together the blast's epicenter. He collected tiny, melted spheres of silica and nickel, possible remnants of a celestial object. Yet no substantial meteorite fragments emerged. His reports raised more questions than they answered. Had an enormous stone meteor exploded in mid-air? Or was something even more exotic responsible? Over the past century, Researchers have proposed countless explanations. The prevailing theory suggests a stony meteoroid, perhaps 60 meters wide, entered Earth's atmosphere and exploded in a mid-air airburst roughly 5 to 10 kilometers above ground. Such an explosion could unleash energy equivalent to 10 to 15 megatons of TNT, hundreds of times more powerful than the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. Other scientists argue for a cometary origin, an icy body that vaporized, leaving little solid debris. Fringe hypotheses range from natural gas deposits igniting beneath the forest floor to passing micro-black holes or secret weapon tests. Each theory accounts for fragments of evidence but struggles to explain the absence of a conventional impact crater and the peculiar chemical traces found in the soil. Later, we'll examine what 21st century instruments reveal beneath the moss. Eyewitness testimonies, though scarce, add vivid detail to the scientific record. An Evenki hunter described feeling the air itself rush backward, as if the entire world had sighed violently. A gold prospector spoke of a second greenish glow that danced like the aurora borealis, lingering in the sky after the flash. In Vanavara, more than 60 kilometers away, villagers awakened to collapsing windows and roaring winds, families huddled in cellars, ears ringing long after the shockwave passed. Modern researchers have traveled to these remote settlements, interviewing descendants whose grandparents' accounts describe a day when the heavens briefly became an otherworldly stage. Advances in technology have revived interest in Tunguska. Satellite imagery and LiDAR mapping have revealed subtle circular depressions at ground zero, features Kulik may have overlooked. Seismic data and barometric records from 1908 have been reanalyzed to refine estimates of energy release and altitude of the explosion. Geochemists have pored over soil cores, seeking elevated levels of rare elements like iridium, telltale markers of extraterrestrial material. Computer simulations model shockwave propagation through the thin Siberian air, narrowing the probable size and composition of the object. Yet every new dataset seems to deepen the mystery rather than dissolve it. One question persists. Where did the meteor fragments go? The taiga's peat-rich soils and acidic conditions can corrode metal in decades. Any surviving fragments may lie buried beneath meters of sediment and lichen growth. Political upheavals during the Soviet era, famines, purges, World War, diverted scientific focus and resources away from further expeditions. Kulik's original field notes vanished during Stalin's purges, a tragic loss for posterity. Today, only minute silica microspheres and scattered anomalous magnetic readings remain as physical proof. They whisper of a cosmic visitor, but they cannot, on their own, unveil its full story. Next, a look at how Tunguska has become a living monument. Visit the Tunguska Nature Reserve, and you'll see new forests rising from the wreckage. Towering larches and pines, decades old, conceal the scars of 1908 beneath their canopies. Wooden platforms guide visitors across the bent tree area, where long rows of tree trunks arch toward the earth, frozen forever in the moment of impact. A modest museum in this nearby village displays Kulik's lantern, field notebook replicas, and the few preserved samples deemed extraterrestrial. Each summer, tourists and scientists converge here, drawn by the same mix of trepidation and wonder that gripped those who first witnessed the blast. Beyond its scientific significance, Tunguska has captivated artists and storytellers. In Arthur C. Clarke's novel, Imperial Earth, the event becomes an alien test. Filmmakers have used its imagery to explore themes of human vulnerability and cosmic indifference. Popular documentaries often juxtapose Tunguska with more recent airbursts, like Chelyabinsk in 2013, to remind viewers that Earth remains under constant bombardment by space debris. Such narratives underscore a sobering truth. Our planet's protective atmosphere shields us daily from countless unseen threats. Today, Tunguska informs planetary defense initiatives worldwide. Projects like NASA's DART mission and Europe's Hera aim to deflect potentially hazardous asteroids through controlled impacts. Models derived from Tunguska guide these efforts, demonstrating how an airburst can dissipate energy above ground, yet still inflict catastrophic damage below. Emergency planners study historical accounts to prepare for worst-case scenarios. A mid-air explosion over a major city or critical infrastructure. Tunguska warns that even relatively small celestial bodies, just tens of meters across, pose existential dangers. Despite more than a century of scrutiny, critical mysteries endure. Was the object a dense stony chondrite or a fragile comet nucleus? Did it fragment higher or lower than current models predict? Could undiscovered geological anomalies near ground zero harbor hidden fragments? In 2019, a private team drilled into a Siberian peat bog, recovering sediment cores with magnetic anomalies, possibly indicating buried iron fragments. Yet these findings await independent verification and peer-reviewed publication. Until then, Tunguska's full narrative remains tantalizingly out of reach. Perhaps Tunguska's greatest legacy is the human impulse it ignites: to seek, to question, to explore. In the hushed forest where pines now tower above felled stumps, one can almost hear an echo, a silent reminder of forces far beyond our everyday experience. For the Evenki elders, the blast became legend, a tale of fire from the sky that reshaped their homeland. For scientists, it remains a natural laboratory, a chance to test theories of cosmic impacts. For all of us, Tunguska stands as a monument to Earth's vulnerability and resilience. As twilight descends on the Podkamanaya Tunguska, the forest exhales a subtle sigh. Moss carpeting the ground softens the forest's jagged lines, hiding the scars of an event that forever altered the taiga. High above, near-Earth objects continue their silent orbits, each one a potential messenger of destruction or discovery. Someday, another Tunguska-scale event may unfold, perhaps in a place even more remote, leaving new mysteries in its wake. What do you think caused the Tunguska blast? Meteor, comet, or something stranger? Share your theory in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you won't miss our next journey into history's greatest enigmas.